Hello, and welcome back to your space on day 7 of our countdown to Yule. I hope you're enjoying your practice right now, appreciating that it is different from how we regularly count down. But I think the time is coming where we're all looking very much at where we are and why we're there. And I do think that the body graph is really useful. It's certainly been instrumental for me. So in sharing that with you, you're now conscious of the different types that are within our community. And we're going to move on today to the strategies that each type has in a little bit more detail. So if you have your drink, you're taking your time, whatever time of day this is for you that works best. Your first port of call would be the strategy of a manifester. So as we said it earlier, the manifester is a non-sacral type, no access to regular and consistent energy, however initiates. Now when they initiate, they tend to just go. I know, I live with one. And when they go, it doesn't matter how old they are, they just go. So for a manifestor child, if you're raising a manifestor child or a manifestor adult, this can be quite frustrating or difficult energy to manage for the people around you because they don't understand that you're responding to something within you. A manifestor often doesn't need people. That doesn't mean they want to be alone and they don't like people. It means they don't need them to start something. They do need them to work with them to bring it to fruition, but they don't need them to start something. So when they're starting something, they're operating on a call to start. That comes from within them, that's very quick, and they just go. They respond to it. That pull. When a manifestor does this in our communities, they can meet resistance. Imagine a manifestor child just going out the front door. The resistance would come in the form of a parent saying, no, you can't do that, which will get an angry response, the not self theme. The manifestor has been interrupted in their creative flow and anger results. Let's take a minute to feel into that. The strategy for a manifestor is to learn to inform. Because when a manifestor can learn to pause and inform those with an interest in their companionship, their well-being, they are able to remove the resistance. Now, this is a very difficult thing for the manifestor to actually master, and they need a lot of support in doing it. For a manifestor responding so quickly to what is around them and being so repelling about needing anybody else to achieve that, it's not an easy thing for them to inform. They tend to just go in that flow. So if you are a manifestor, the greatest skill you can learn to master in order to remove resistance from your environment is to inform. If you are a manifestor child, there is value in understanding that there are people caring for your welfare and your well-being, and they need to be party to what you're doing to keep you safe. If you are parenting a manifestor child, it can be useful to understand that they need to go. And that can put you at the mercy of their intuition. It also puts you at the mercy when they're resting, that they need that time to rest. Manifestors don't just need to inform, they also need to be informed. So this whole informing thing from them and for them is an important strategy. So that's the strategy for a manifestor. For a generator, the strategy is to respond to your environment around you. Generator children need to let go of the pressure to initiate, because they're not here for that. They're here to respond to the right kind of invitations from the world around them. Generator children need to take the steps to be able to respond, to be able to trust that they are responding to the right things. And generator adults need to align with what they are here to respond to. It should light you up. It should make you feel that you really want to do this. Generators are often the types that people look at and think, my goodness me, how have they got the energy for all of this? Manifesting generators too. The strategy here for both the generator and the manifesting generator is primarily to respond to their environment, to respond to the need that lights them up. In the case of the manifesting generator, that can happen very quickly, so they also need to inform. Again, it's got that hybrid energy. So, generators, you are not under pressure to make it happen. You are under pressure to build it, or when you have something to build. Now, responding may come in the shape of a person. It may come in the shape of a place where if the wall's fallen down, you're responding to a need to rebuild it. If you are asked to do something and it absolutely lights you up, it may be your work. If you're lucky enough, it may be your work. If it's not your work, plenty of generators are in the position where their work is something they do because they can, and what lights them up is the art classes they take after work, or the volunteering that they do with the scouts. These are the people that have that energy, and what lights them up may not necessarily be their work, but it has to be a big part of their life for them to retain that love of what they're doing, what they're here to do. As I say, if you're fortunate, your work is something that you love. But if not, all is not lost. For manifesting generators, as I say, that first call is not to manifest. It is not to initiate. It is to respond to your environment. But you may receive that call in a slightly different way because of the slightly more plugged in nature and the faster nature of the manifester. It may be quite quick, but again, it should light you up. If it's quick, informing can help remove the obstacles to your creative process. Equally, manifesting generators like to be informed so that they can help remove the obstacles. Projectors we've discussed a bit more about what it is to be seen, and this is a fundamental part of being invited. It's the key to receiving the right invitation, is that you are seen for your value and your skills and your abilities for what they are, not what they are trying to be, and not what you're trying to develop. Allow these things to come to you. Create the space for these things to come to you. This is why you're not supposed to be a busy generator. In that space of constantly running energy through your open centers, it's trusting that you will be seen by the right people, and you will start to receive the right invitations rather than every invitation. You do need time to rest and discharge that energy, and that would be your strategy. Be seen and wait to be invited. To try and change things before those two things have happened will lead to bitterness. You're not self-seen. And it's a clue to stop spending your energy in that direction. And for the reflector, your strategy is to wait until you have all the information that you need to be able to direct it into the space that you need, remembering that you're sampling the energy around you to see if it's healthy energy or less healthy energy. But to be able to sample that effectively, you need to do it over a period of time. It's not immediate, and there is no real truth in the now for you. It takes time. So learning to wait 28 days, a lunar cycle, is a strategy for the reflector. Again, I share these strategies with you because if they don't all apply to you, you may see them around you, in the people around you, to build that community that you're craving. I do hope that you find this useful and helpful. Strategies help us to drive our vehicle in the most effective way, to save you leaking energy in the wrong direction that may bring outcomes that you did not intend. It helps you align with your intention and with your own energy, that in time, and fairly quick time from my experience, leads to a much more joyful and pleasant life. So I'm sending you lots of love. I hope that day 7 is going well for you. And don't forget, if you have any questions, please reach out. If you want to dive deeper, we can do that on a one-to-one level. But for now, just feeling into where this sits for you and how it could serve you going forward, I think is a great start, a great seed. So much love, and I will catch you tomorrow.